And we're back. The longest shutdown in U.S. history came to an end last week. But what does it mean, particularly for New York City? Well, some of the major topics this week we're going to talk about are Council Speaker Cory Johnson's announced run for mayor in 2021, the upcoming public advocate special election, and the New York State Gaming Commission approves sports gambling. Here to discuss this and much more, Michael Benjamin, Associate Editorial Page Editor of the New York Post. And Mike, good to have you.
Good morning, Dan. Good to be on.
Good morning. Yeah, and I want to talk to you. First and foremost, let's talk on the national side. The government shutdown did end after approximately a month. Now, I just came back into the country yesterday, and as I was coming back into the country yesterday, I saw a lot of Homeland Security, TSA workers who were saying, we're just getting back, and things are going to be moving slow for a minute. And the lines were extremely long. Talk to us about what the shutdown has actually done. Even though doors are open now, the government's back open, we still have some heavy consequences here.
Well, also, and for the workers, too, they really haven't gotten their back pay yet. So the president claims he's trying to speed things up to get them their back pay. So, yeah, they're working, but they haven't been paid yet. So we'll see what happens. And, when you're off for a extended period of time, it's a little slow getting things back in order. While you're out of the country, I'm not sure if you heard that last Friday, before the president came, LaGuardia Airport was closed for about an hour or two, and there were threats of closing.
I didn't get my bags, Michael, while I was down there, and the reason why I didn't was because LaGuardia was closed, so they couldn't get my bag out. So I didn't see it, but I felt it. But go ahead.
It's amazing. And economists all say that the economy, national economy, GDP, has been hurt over the last month because of the shutdown. In fact, people weren't spending money. A significant number of Americans were not spending money in their hometowns and in their state, and it has an impact on the economy. So there was a lot riding for the president to have to agree to this 3-week extension to restart government. Hopefully, it'll continue, and they'll make some compromise on border security, whatever they want to call it. But the president led a campaign promise, almost drive the country into ruin.
And the question is, what did it accomplish, given the fact that the president said he wanted more funding for the wall? He didn't get the funding that he exactly wanted for the wall. He ends up shutting down the government. The government opens back up. No more money for the wall. Obviously, a big L for the president. What, if anything, did he accomplish?
Well, he made Nancy Pelosi and Congress look good. Congress controls the purse strings. They weren't willing to do what he wanted. They weren't willing to let government be held hostage, and he finally had to give in. Now, what they compromise on border security, I think they will do something. I don't know if it's going to be this grand concrete wall or steel flat wall he's talking about, but there will be some sort of border security and some sort of, hopefully, immigration reform to go along with it. I think the Democrats can't afford to squander this initial victory, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's 2019, the beginning of 2019, and politicians have already set their sights towards the future. We understand Cory Johnson making an announcement that he will be running in 2021 for New York City mayor. What are your thoughts on what this means and his actual possibilities here?
Well, I believe he's going to run. He is the council speaker. He's term limited. He has sort of a citywide perspective, citywide voice. So he should act on it. Now he's starting early because he says he's not going to take any corporate, lobbyist, or real estate money, and he's limiting his contributions to a maximum of $250, which is matchable now at an 8-to-1 rate since the council changed the public matching law. And so he's out so early to raise the money to be competitive. A number of folks, including the Bronx Borough president, are out there ahead of him raising money for 2021. Controller Scott Stringer hold a citywide office. He's running, and you have a couple others who are going to run. So I think Speaker Johnson is making the right choice now. Does he have a shot? Yeah, everybody's got a shot when it's 2019.
Right.
Rubber meets the road in August of 2021.
Yeah.
June of 2021, actually. But the primary's now been moved to June 2021.
Well, the names will definitely be circulating in the atmosphere already, but we'll get some more concrete understanding probably over the course of the next 6 to 7 months who actually will be throwing their name in the hat for the ring for mayor.
But the interesting thing is about Johnson was that in today's New York Post, our reporter Rich Calder wrote a story that said that Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez's deputy district director wrote a tweet slapping at Johnson for trying to, in her words, trying to ride on the congresswoman's coattails regarding small donations and the like, considering Johnson was supported by former Congressman and Queens County Leader Joe Crowley for his spot as Council Speaker. And she wrote a whole bunch of things which claimed that Johnson was being two-faced. So it looks like the young guns are gunning for the establishment Democrats.
Well, if you think the people are going to keep quiet in this day and age, I think the message is, politically, people are not going to keep quiet. They're not going to wait their turn. And when you hear about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her camp, that has definitely been a part of their demographic that they're gonna speak up.
Yes.
But talk to me about this, because when we talk about the race for mayor, you gotta have to talk about the race for public advocate. When we talk about public advocate, I don't think, we're in 2019, of course, and I don't think that we've heard. Look, here they are. I mean, look at this. There's a whole bunch of candidates out here who've already announced that they're going to run, and you got 10 already. Where do you see this going?
Yeah, well, yesterday the Board of Elections cut out 5 candidates who can't run for various reasons. So there are officially 17 that are running. 10 made the cutoff for the first public debate next Tuesday, February 6th. I think Gary Axelback is going to use something similar for the BronxNet debates too. Mm-hmm. But it's a horse race. There are 10 people running. I think it's only a 3-person race. I think the top 3 candidates, Melissa Marguerite, the former council speaker, the Bronx Assemblyman Michael Blake, and Brooklyn Councilman Jumaane Williams, who had a very respectable showing running for Lieutenant Governor last year.
Yeah,
and they've all raised enough money where they can be competitive. I think the races are among those 3, but the others, they'll be there too. In Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens, I know they're in public forum. The candidates have attended. I haven't heard of one in the Bronx, but maybe I missed it. But one interesting thing is that there were so many candidates running that one imposter actually showed up at a public forum. I think it was either Manhattan or Brooklyn, and he was allowed to take up time, but he's not even a real candidate.
Yeah, well, during this season, everybody comes out the woodworks, even those who aren't technically running for office. So no surprise there. I want to talk about New York State gambling and the Gaming Commission. Bring us your update.
Well, on Monday, the New York State Gaming Commission put out regulations, rules governing sports betting in New York State. Sports betting under current law and the state constitution will only be allowed at the 4 upstate casinos. And so the rules are put in place. There are anti-corruption, integrity rules that are there. And it has to be, according to the law, sports betting must be done in person. So therefore, it's not over the internet. It can't be on your phone. You must go to one of those 4 casinos and use one of their kiosks or a cashier to place your sports bet. Some people are upset because of this sort of inconvenience. And so there's pressure now on the legislature and the governor to sort of figure out how to make mobile internet betting, sports betting possible in New York State. The governor says it's going to require another constitutional amendment. Others think it may just require the legislature passing the bill. It's sort of up in the air what's going to happen. But sports betting is going to happen in New York State, but it has to be at those 4 upstate casinos. And, what's going to happen next remains to be seen.
Yeah. Mike Benjamin, our political contributor from the New York Post. Thank you so much for joining us, Mike.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All righty, taking a quick break. Got more open. Stay with us. We're coming back in a few.